I might have to make an adjustment with the camera halfway through class, depending on what's going on. But we are starting standing today, and we're going to end seated. And today we're going to be paying particular attention to our hands and feet. So also related our wrists, ankles, but we're going to definitely start with a full body warm up so that we are ready for focusing on it, just our hands and feet. So it's just a yoga mat for today. As always, if anything feels terrible, pay attention to your injuries. You don't want to re-injure yourself or make a new injury for yourself. Pay attention to your own personal range of motion. You don't want to go over your personal range of motion. You're just trying to work within it and maybe increase it ever so slightly. I think that's it. We're going to have fun. Hands and feet day. So we'll get started. So find yourself in a comfortable standing position. Legs underneath hips, parallel. Arms relaxing down by your side. And just take 2 deep breaths, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then start moving your head right and left. Gliding your chin to your shoulder, not moving your shoulders. You can always go slower than I'm going if it feels good, but try not to go faster. And then float your head back to center and rock your head ear to shoulder. Again, shoulders relax, head falls right and left, breathing normal. And then stopping here, we're going to bring the chin forward, reaching it toward me, and then pull the chin back. 1,000,000 chins. 1 chin. 1,000,000 chins. Notice if your chin is going up or down. Try to keep it gliding along that imaginary table. Like you're giving yourself table rug burn. Notice if your shoulders like to pull forward and back. Mine are trying to do things. Let's do 2 more, keeping everything still. And keep it in this turtle position. Lift your chin up and then chin down and breathe. And then float your head back to center. Let's do 1 giant circle with the chin all the way around. And reverse that circle. Bring your head back to center. And take a deep breath in, this time floating arms, chest, chin up to the sky. And exhale, float everything down. Chin floats back into the chest. Keep breathing up and down, reaching up to the ceiling. Exhale, everything falls, and really time it with your breath. Taking your entire inhale to float the arms up. Entire exhale to float the arms down. On our next down, we're going to start to bend the knees, maybe curving the upper back just a little bit more. So here we go, all the way down, bending the knees over the toes, surrounding the back. Let your arms go, and then inhale, all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, a little bit more of a curve. Relax the arms, push the heels down to inhale, reach the arms up. 2 more just like this. Last one, we're going to stay down here. Just let your head fall heavy. Make sure your knees are still in line with your toes and let your arms draw circles. Nice and loose. No tension in your head or neck. You can give it a little shake. Yes, no. And reverse the direction of these arm circles, just letting them loose. Try not to control them. Crossing the opposite one on top, if it happens. And then continue the circles. Start to slowly roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time, making these circles larger and larger and larger. Keep breathing. Again, crossing the opposite one on top if you remember. Let's reverse these circles. And then stopping here, flip the arms up and down, bending the knees as you go down. Again, making sure the knees are bending over your toes. Let's do 2 more, stopping with our knees bent. Whew, and then start your swing with the arms opposite, right and left. Keep the knees bending over the toes. Maybe you pull your belly button deep toward your spine. Start to twist, right, left. Breathe. Keep pulling your belly button deep toward your spine. Check out your knees. Make sure they're still in line with the toes. Start to float your arms up higher and higher. Keep twisting. And then float your arms down lower and lower and lower again. Ooh, mess up the wall. Until you come to your stop, resting your arms onto your legs. Legs are still bent. Let's bring our ribcage front and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. And now right and left, gliding it. Keep your hips where they are, lifting up out of your waist. If you need to use your hand, push your ribcage. And then stopping here, hands to the hips. Let's draw circles all the way around. Keep your knees bent. Squeeze your butt as you bring your pelvis forward. Arch your tailbone as you go back. Keep breathing. Reverse the circles. Whew. And then stopping here, we're going to straighten our knees and bring your fingertips to your shoulders. Stir your elbows all the way around. It's okay if the rest of your body is moving. Get it warmed up. And reverse your circles. And then float your arms down and check out your feet. If they're wider than your hips, again, try to bring them back underneath you. Parallel position. All right, engage your abs, engage your glutes, engage your leg muscles. We're gonna shift the weight forward and back. So rocking forward onto the toes and then onto the heels, lifting the toes. And notice if your feet like to go inward or outward, try to keep them, kind of parallel. Find your normal. Breathe. Testing your balance a little bit. And then start to make this motion smaller and smaller and smaller until you stop. Once your whole foot is onto the floor, take a deep breath. And now we're gonna rock right and left. So you can start small, transferring weight from the outside of the foot to the inside of the foot and then the other foot. Notice if you're shifting your weight forward or backward. Just notice those things, how you stand. Breathe. Maybe you start to lift one of your feet up, place it back down. Feel how your other foot grips the floor, your yoga mat. Breathe. And then making this motion again smaller and smaller. Until you come to your complete stop. And take a deep breath. And then we're gonna rock outward and inwardly on the ankles. So out on the outside and then the inside. And just take a look at your feet, notice what's going on. If one likes to go weird, like in a diagonal instead of completely to the side, like my left one. Just notice those things. Make sure you're sharing the weight equally. Breathe in. Notice what's going on up here. Any muscles working. I certainly feel a lot of muscles working. Start to make this motion smaller and smaller and smaller. Until your whole foot is back onto the floor. And take a deep breath. All right, we're gonna draw circles. So starting small first, transferring weight from toes to heels, all the way back around. Trying to keep your knees from locking out, but also not like bending a whole lot. Maybe you feel your hips taking you around in that circle. Gradually making it larger. Woo, testing your balance. If you need to, you can totally have the arms out to the side. Let's make one more circle this way. And then rest. Take a deep breath. And then we're going to reverse the circle. So starting small first. And feeling how the muscles are working all the way up your legs. Gradually making the circle larger and larger. Whew. Feet are alive. It kind of feels like a little bit of a massage too underneath your foot. Whoa. Gradually start to make this circle. Well, actually, let's do 2 more and we'll stop. We didn't do that on the other side. Whew. And then find your rest. Take a deep breath. All right, then arms out like airplane wings. We're going to lift the heel of the right foot. So taking care that your knees going in line with your toe, and you're trying to lift the heel as high as possible by pushing down into the floor with the ball of the foot. So my left here, my arch is pretty fallen, so I have to really wake up those muscles. So if that's something that is true for you, really try to feel those muscles, that arch, lift, breathe. Okay, we're going to stop here in this press position. Take a deep breath. And then rolling over the top, give yourself gentle pressure, just like this with a pointed toe. Take a deep breath. And then circle your ankle all the way around. Keep breathing. Reverse. And then float your foot down, rest your arms, take a deep breath. All right, other foot's turn, arms out, lift the heel of the left, up and down. Take your time, make sure everything is tracking over that toe. Make sure you've got your abs engaged, your rib cage is wrapped, so you've got some good posture going on. I just caught myself with my bad posture. Whew. All right, next one, stay, hold, and press. Take a deep breath. And then rolling over the top, gentle pressure, pointed toe, deep breath. And then circle it around. Continue breathing. Reverse your circles. And then float everything down, but step your feet close together, knees close together, bend your knees, hands go onto the knees, and then keep the heels down as you draw circles with your knees all the way around. My feet like to lift up during this. Reverse your circles. All right, and then stepping the feet back underneath hips, toes facing forward. We're gonna just stare at our feet. Try to lift all of your toes at the same time, but don't lift like this to do it or this to do it, just the toes up and down. Yeah, so the ball of the foot's on the floor, the heels on the floor, the arches are lifted, and your toes are stretching toward your face. If this is working out for you, try to alternate right and left. Breathe. All right, then stopping here, arms out. We're gonna lift the heels, so rising up onto both toes, lifting up for 8, 7, 6, engaging your abs, engaging your glutes. Whew. 4, get ready to stay. 3, 2, last one, stay. Good, breathing here. Notice how you're feeling. Engage your leg muscles, engage your abs, wrap your rib cage in. We're gonna try to bend the knees, but keep the heels lifted for 4. Squeeze it back up. Whoa, 3. Squeeze it back up. 2. Knees are over the toes, squeeze it back up, belly button to spine. Last one. Whoo. And then lowering the heels, bend your knees again. This time we're gonna try to lift the heels for 4. So here we go. 4, back down. 3, back down. 2, back down. Last one. Whew. Excellent. Straighten your legs and then play an imaginary piano with your hands. I guess there's 2 pianos. We're Tori Amos right now. And now the pianos are all over the room. Keep wiggling your fingers, playing your piano. And then open and close your fists as fast as you can. Still arms going any way you want. And then up at the top, one at a time. You can't see them, but they're fireworks, one at a time. And then start to float your arms out to the side. And all the way down. And then circle your wrists. Breathe. Start to float your arms up to the side. And then all the way up by your ears, your arms will go. Still circling. We'll reverse the circle. Keep breathing. Start to float your arms down, down, down. Whew. And then down here, we're gonna flex the palms, spread the fingers, and then we're gonna push the walls away as we lift, and then push the walls away as we lower. Keep spreading your fingers wide, keep breathing. Right up to the side. Keep flexing your fingers toward your face like you're trying to scrub the walls with your palms. 2 more. And then same thing in front. Arms close by your head if you can. Keep flexing the fingers toward your face, spreading your fingers wide. Last one. And then shake that out. And then come to the back of your mat, wherever that is for you. I'm gonna adjust the camera. We're going to the floor. So at the back of your mat, find your legs again parallel underneath your hips, toes facing forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chin falls into your chest. Roll yourself down, allowing your head to fall heavy. And then take a moment in your forward bend. Check out where your weight is shifted. Make sure it's a little bit more forward in your toes, less in your heels. And then give your head a little shake, yes. And a little shake, no. And then stop here, bend your knees to get your hands on the floor if you can't. And then walk your hands to the opposite side of your mat for a downward dog. Plant your palms up to the floor, spread your fingers wide. And then aim the top of your head where your fingertips are pointing. Stretch your hips up and start to lift and lower your heels one at a time, right and left. And just breathe. Try to find equal weight from your palms and your fingers down into the floor. All right, let's do both heels at the same time, up and down. While you're doing this, if you have time to think about what your body's doing, make sure your rib cage is wrapped. You're reaching your tailbone up to the sky, pushing the floor away with your palms. Top of the head is reaching where your fingertips are pointing. Stop here, reach the heels down, take a deep breath. And then walk your feet to your hands. Soften your knees and roll back up to standing, bringing your head up last. And then take a deep breath at the top. All right, another deep breath in so we can go back down on your exhale. So exhale drops the chin into the chest, roll yourself down, arms are loose, chin into chest. Bend your knees, place your hands onto the floor and walk your feet back to your downward dog once again.
When you get there, take a deep breath in and out. Enjoy this triangle shape with your body. All right, you're gonna take your right foot and you're gonna place it behind your left Achilles, kind of tucking the big toe and the inside toe around the Achilles. And then hips up. We're gonna lift and lower the left heel for 8, 7, keep breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then set that right foot down and left foot's turned. Tuck it behind the Achilles of your right foot. Make sure your hips are still stretching up to the sky. Ribcage wrap. Lift your right heel for 8, 7. It's like a piggyback ride for your foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then set that foot down. I've got a bug on my mat, hold on. Get away. All right, then set your knees to the floor. Tops of the toes rest onto the floor. Bring your toes together and then sink your hips onto your heels. Let's take our child's pose, relax. 2 deep breaths. All right, keep your hips onto your heels as much as you can. Chin stays into your chest. We're gonna roll up through our spine, coming onto our knees. So bring your head up last. All right, let's come all the way up onto the knees. Make sure your feet are parallel behind you and then tuck your toes under. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze your low butt, pull your belly button deep toward your spine. Hip flexors are stretching a little bit. Clasp your fists together, circle your wrists, and breathe. Keep squeezing your glutes, pulling your belly button deep toward your spine. Reverse your circle. And then stopping here, let's drop the tops of the toes back onto the floor. Keep them parallel. Shake out your hands. Place them onto the floor right underneath your shoulders. Fingers spread wide. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of a rock forward. So going a little bit forward on your wrists, and then we're gonna pull the hips back just like this, and we're gonna keep the hands flexed, and we're gonna tap the wrists to the knees. So my hands are hovering off, and then they come back, same thing, stretching the fingers back, a little bit of rock forward, and then where you can, and just pull them back. So go at your own speed, testing how much strength you have here, pulling your wrists back, keep them flexed. Don't forget to breathe. Let's do 2 more. After this last one, find your tabletop position. All right, we're gonna try to lift our fingers one at a time. So I'm gonna start with my right pinky. Just take your time, maybe wiggle them as you lift. It's alive, they're alive. Notice if you have any tension coming on elsewhere in your body. Just notice it. Okay, once you've gone straight through all 10 digits, go back the other way, one at a time, lifting them, giving them a little wiggle, saying hello. Try not to lift your wrist when you lift that thumb, that was hard. Once you've gone through all of your digits, start to draw circles, so little tiny circles. And while you do this, push down into the floor with your palms in your fingers. And if you have hypermobile elbows, please make sure that those elbows are soft. You're engaging your bicep to control that elbow and not just going into that hyperflexion. All right, let's reverse the direction of the circle. Breathing. Excellent. And then stopping here, let's pretend that our hands are stuck in some sort of caramel situation and we're trying to peel them off, but it's also so sticky that it comes back down. One at a time, right and left. peeling your hand out of the delicious caramel. All right, doing the same motion, but this time flip your palms inward and have your fingers outward. Make sure you're still over your shoulders, so not like this or like that, or under your shoulders. You know what I meant. Breathe. You might feel or hear some cracks, pops, stuff happening. That's normal. Whew. All right, and then the last one, my favorite one, you're gonna bring your fingers toward you, palms away, and then try to still get those shoulders on top of your wrist, and you're trying to peel inward towards you. This one always reminds me of looking at a cat's leg because they bend backwards. They're like that. Cat's leg, hand stretch. Excellent. All right, then we're gonna find the palms back inward, fingers out, but this time walk your palms next to each other, still with the shoulders on top of your wrists, elbows soft, just little rocks right and left, but keep your wrists on the floor. And then here we're gonna flip the palms upward, so fingers in. You're like this, gentle pressure on the back of your palms. Make sure you're centered, shoulders over your wrists, and take a deep breath here. And then curl all of your fingers in, thumbs included, so now like this. Take another deep breath. And then release that, and you can sit back onto your heels if this feels good, or if that feels bad, you can totally sit up like this. But we're gonna take one of our hands out, right hand, you're gonna stretch all the fingers out. You're gonna close it. We're gonna open it again and pinch, and then we're gonna open it again and do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's open, closed, open, pinch, open, 1, 2, 3, 4. Open, closed, open, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open, closed, open, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. Open, closed, open, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, shake that out. Other hand's turn. Wide, stretching your fingers out, and then close with the thumb on the outside. And then pinch all the fingers together, and then one at a time, they touch. Open, closed, open, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, stretch, close, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, I feel a song coming on. I won't sing it to you. Closed, open, pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Stretch. Closed. Pinch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew. Shake that out. All right, back to the first one. You're gonna have it out. We're gonna do this magical one at a time, like you're reaching something in. And you're gonna curl your wrist in, and then you're gonna reverse, unfurling. Back up. So pinky leads, wrist flexion, leading back out, palm open. 2 more. Come to me. Just kidding, go away. I'm not really good at that out one. We'll try it one more time. Excellent. Shake it out. And then get your other hand ready. We're gonna lead with that pinky. Magic, come to me. Flex the wrist, and then reverse, let it go. Come back to the hand, and then again, flex, unfurl, flex. 2 more, breathe. Last one, come to me. Just kidding,
Let it go. Oh, I'm so bad at that one. Let that go. Excellent. All right, come to our seated, but oh my gosh, we have no time left. All right, let's do, let me think. Let's do our feet. So come to our pike. Have your feet out in front. Sit up tall, and then one at a time, flex and point, and breathe. Notice if your legs like to go out like that, make sure they're parallel. So you're engaging your leg muscles, you're engaging your quad muscles. All right, and then keep both pointed ankles, stretched ankles. You're gonna flex back just the toes, and then point the toes. Flex, point. Don't bend your knees. Breathe. Sit up tall. If that's working out, try to alternate right and left. And then stop with the toes pointed. And we're going to keep the toes pointed, and we're going to flex and point. Then flex. Oop, don't move the knees. Keep them still. Breathe. And then alternate that right and left with that scrunch. Really scrunch. Scrunch. So much scrunch. And then stopping here, just with one of your legs, one of your feet, you're going to imagine you're picking up a pencil with your toes, and then you're letting it go. So you're articulating through and coming back up. Just breathe. I have a lot of noise coming from this foot. I don't know if you can hear that. That's my normal. All right, let's do one more on this foot. And then other foot's turn. So all the way to the point, and then a scrunch to flex. Articulating through the joints of your foot. Breathing. Really using that resistance, like you're imagining that you really have to pick up that pencil so far when you've got it. And then you let it go, it rolls away, you gotta get it again. Do two more. Woo. Excellent. Shake that out. All right, lastly, you're gonna find a seated position. Take one of your legs, perhaps on top like this. You're gonna take all of your fingers and jam them in between each of your toes. So take your time. You wanna get the toes to be like this, right into your knuckle. Jam them in. Pull the fingers through. Once you have all of that, grab onto the ball of your foot. Let your foot just relax and roll it around. Use your wrist, stern it around, breathe. And then reverse the circle. You're welcome to go slower than this if this feels gnarly. Lots of times people have broken toes, there's scar tissue in there, so just work through whatever the heck is going on in your footy. And then a little bit of bend backward and forward, a little pull on the toes if you feel good. Flexing them, pointing them, just relax. And then finally giving your foot a squeeze. Squeeze the ball of your foot, and then try to rip out your fingers. Rip! And once that's done, you're gonna take your other foot. Again, interlace those fingers, take your time, really get it in there. Ugh. Sneaking them through. We'll have to remember to wash our hands after this class. Once you've got them in there, relax your foot and start to just roll the foot around. Breathe. Listen to the song that your foot is making with all the little cracks and pops. Reverse your circle. And then little bends back and forward, a little pull on the toes, maybe squeeze them a little bit, whatever feels good. Just give your feet a little bit of attention, especially if you haven't in a while. None of us have been getting pedicures or anything like that, so this is good for our feet. All right, then give your feet a squeeze, your foot a squeeze, and then rip out your fingers. Oh, this one's stuck. Let it go. Oh, and then my friends, that is all for today. I hope you had a really good hand and feet workouts, also ankles and wrists. We stretched out pretty much our whole body today too. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me every morning and working out. It really keeps me motivated, or else I definitely would not wake up in the morning. I am a bum and I would sleep all day. So now my feet and hands feel really good. Thanks to everyone.